Do you need a mic check?
Nah, I think we've been doing
Straight
it.
out the ass, call me Pope.
You can do it.
Nah.
Come on, get a full one.
Straight out the ass, call me Poop. Now I'm riding around with my windows down in my Honda Civic Coupe.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep. It's the hottest intro
I'll
to
give
the
some
podcast.
context for everyone listening. That's how I used to rap when I was younger. I was in a rap group, so I used that stupid line to do all my mic checks when I start a YouTube video every single time.
And you even do it to this day?
Yeah, every single time.
Amazing. Well, it's good to see you.
You too, man. I'm glad to finally be on this podcast. For a while there, I thought you just didn't want me.
No, I've always wanted. You were always on the top of the list. I think I was just waiting for like the right moment to do it.
I thought it was gonna be guest number 1.
Nah, you're guest 41. It's not very special at all.
Week by week, I'm scrolling through. I'm like, oh, another podcast episode from Carlo. Not me, But since then, you've gotten some crazy guests.
Yeah, and it's just went downhill.
It started with I feel like it started with people we knew.
100%.
Like Colin,
Juan. That's about it. Who else?
I don't know. But then all of a sudden you got like...
Who else, James? Pedro was on there.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you got Solomon Lighthelm.
Yeah, Solomon was on. That was the craziest one for sure. Yeah. Since then I had this guy's name's Bjorn. He shot the Gentleman. Yeah. That was pretty sweet.
And my cousin.
And then your cousin. And we're slowly getting downhill to you
getting
right
worse
now.
and worse.
We're getting worse. But we have you and your dog Sansa today. So we got a special guest.
Yeah. Look at her. She's a good girl.
Thanks for coming on, dude. I appreciate it.
She's so enamored by the person walking upstairs.
She's going to be staring at the wall the whole time.
She might start growling.
That's all right.
She's going to start to assume that this is our...
She a barking dog or no?
If she gets fired up enough, she'll bark.
Well, if she barks, she barks.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
She'll be good. Yeah, she's usually good when we're recording. She's usually around.
She's used to this.
Yeah.
But 2 days, we're going to LA for the final screening.
Yeah.
You okay?
Thank God.
How do you feel?
I cannot stress enough how excited I am for this movie to just be out and I can move on with my life. Like, this has been so much not about filmmaking and so much about like logistics and like business and like all the stuff that I don't like doing. And it's been like this for the past, like, I would say year. Like, I finished editing the movie like end of 2022, like early 2023. And then since then, it's just been like getting like the movie advertised, making promotional material. Like, I'm constantly like posting on Instagram and posting YouTube videos about it. I like hate doing that. Like, I hate promoting myself.
I know.
B, I hate like talking to distribution companies and like talking about percentages and like, that's not me. So I'm excited to just
the craziest part that you told me was
on.
like the one song that's like an absolute banger in the movie has to get changed or something.
A couple.
Yeah. A couple of them.
Yeah. Like
last minute decisions, I guess, or last minute things like that.
Yeah. So music licensing, like this is our first time making a movie. Like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, none of us really knew what we were doing. We ran into like a lot of huge financial mistakes, and the biggest one is music licensing. Like, I thought, like, we reached out to these musicians when I wanted to use the music in the script, and they approved, and like we got festival quotes for the songs. So it's like $750 for festival rights for the song. I was like, oh, sick, that's it. Like $750 and I can use this Wiz Khalifa song in my movie. And I didn't realize that you had to go back to them and get a quote for whatever rights you want, whether it's like a 4-wall theatrical release plan, or you want to go video on demand or just web only. And, we weighed our options and saw what we could afford, and we couldn't afford $40,000 for a song. Like, it's like a huge percentage of our budget because our budget isn't big to begin with. And we've exhausted our resources so far beyond what we had to begin with. So had to change out a lot of the music, had to get creative with some of it. Yeah. I don't even think you know this. The last song, the ending song, had to leave, which is like, it's When I'm Gone by Phil Oakes. And it's like a song that like I knew like way back in my life, and like I knew like writing this movie and this song was always going to be a part of it before I even knew what the story was. And I like kind of used it to like write the movie too. I was like, oh, it's perfect. It was made in like 1960. The artist like took his own life, and like the song is about like him like life's not great, but like I'm just gonna keep pushing and enjoy it while I'm here because I'm not always gonna get to be here. So it was like the perfect song.
Right.
Couldn't have gotten better, and they would not budge on price. Like they wanted $40,000 or $20,000 for only 5 years. Then we would have had to, pay whatever after 5 years, and they could have made up a number. I submitted like heartfelt videos explaining the situation. No one cared, So, ended up having to make a new song. I made my own song.
No way.
In 2 days. I played guitar.
Yeah.
Like I played my own song, wrote some lyrics. Me and Matt Fell, who's a composer on the film, recorded it and put it in the movie. It's me singing. It's not like perfect, but like
it works.
It works better than like anything I was finding
on Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'll show you. I can show you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah. So glad I learned how to play the guitar like way back then.
And
getting creative.
Sang too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it works. I promise. Like I would have put it in if it didn't work.
Do you like
starting out with music licensing?
Yeah, it's great. Might as well throw
We've lost the audience.
Throw music gun in there at this point.
We've lost the whole audience already.
It's like I want to jump into like a philosophy question.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you
like Socrates?
Yeah. Like where are
I
you
got
finding
socks for knees.
at this moment? Where are you finding like the most joy in your life right
now? My wife and my dog. And it's like not even close. Yeah. I think that's also to the point that I'm like so over the movie and like I can't focus on making new stuff because it's such a burden on me right now until it's out and like everything's situated. So like making videos right now is just like not fun. And I'm excited to see like if it will be fun like after the movie's released, which I think it will be.
Videos and like short stuff or like another full thing?
Just everything.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah, just everything in general.
Like a lack of inspiration at this moment.
Kind of
just drained.
Yeah, I went and did that Nala shoot.
Yeah,
which was like
beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. And it was like got to go to Kenya and like film runners and like this beautiful place. We've been to Africa together. Like how special of a place that is.
I went another time after we went.
We went to Kenya too.
I went to Kenya.
Yeah,
and
it was awesome.
Every time I leave, I just feel.
Yeah, it's just different. Yeah, it's just like so different and so unique, and I don't know. It's always the most fun, especially when you're filming. So that like was like, all right, I can do more stuff like this once the movie's end. I just like need that time and bandwidth. But yeah, always have that girl just laying there looking all cute. Always got my wife, which like you're about to get married in 2 days.
You got any marriage advice?
Yeah, relationship is just like gets so much better and just like enjoy it. You've every second you get.
A lot. What do you
I don't know. It's just like when you get married, it's like it just feels like.
Does it feel different?
I think it feels different. I think it feels. I don't know. It's like unique to like go out into the world and be like, this is my fucking person. Yeah. Like we actually did it. We have like these and like. I don't know. It's like there's no like not that there's any pressure before of like is this gonna work out or not. Like we know it's gonna work out and like we know how much fun we have with each other and I don't know. It's just exciting to know that we're gonna buy a house one day and travel the world and raise our dog. No kids in the future.
I know that Anna is pretty similar to like what Angelica is. What Anna is to you is what Angelica is for me in a sense of like having someone that is such a supporter.
Yeah,
in like
for sure.
Any crazy thing that you do.
Yeah.
Like, do you think you'd be where you are without her?
Probably not. I don't even know what I would be doing, honestly.
I don't know either.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's and Anna too, like I can tell when she doesn't like something that I do. Like she'll tell me if like a video is not great or like a song's not great or whatever it is. Like going back to like the ending song, like at first she didn't like it and then I fixed something and she really liked it.
Mm.
So she's like actually provides like constructive feedback
Right.
as well. So yeah, having her support and like knowing that there's always one person in my corner who will support anything I do is the coolest thing, you know. She's in it too with me. Like if I succeed, she succeeds.
Mm.
So
Love that. I feel like sometimes I'm trying to get better at it, but I struggle a lot with focusing too much on work and forgetting to like
yeah,
put attention into her sometimes.
yeah,
I don't know how to like I guess it's just something that comes with experience and trying to get better at it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Well, you enjoy work.
I love work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost think I love it too much. Like it's almost part of my identity too
Mhm.
much is like being like a DP and like doing this. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, also like if money's not the most important thing in the world, but it's definitely important
Yeah.
for feeling comfortable and like making sure your family's comfortable and secure and you're doing that. Like I mean, she obviously works too, but like you guys are both putting yourselves in a position to have a comfortable future.
Yeah.
Like you guys want to have kids one day, right?
Yeah. I say to her like all the time that I think like part of the reason I do what I do and like why I work so hard and all this stuff is for us and like for our future family one
Mhm.
day is to like set us up for that.
Yeah. I'm afraid to like buy a house and like have the house paid off because then I'm not gonna want to work because that's the only like I'm like I just want to like have a house and
Yeah.
like put a basketball court in the backyard and
That's
just
it.
hoop all day.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah. Have you always wanted just like a simple life?
Yes. That's all I still want. And my life's like not simple,
Mm.
which sucks sometimes. Like I don't know. I just feel like anytime I like have to like do something that makes money, I have to like share like my heart with hundreds of thousands of people,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like it's awesome, but like it's not like who I am or like what I was aiming for. So it's definitely like a weird thing for my personality type to get used to. Like an ideal world, like I like own a landscaping company and like Sansa sits in the tractor and we just like cut yards, end the day, go home, just hang out, watch Survivor, you know?
I knew. Yeah, you're such a big Survivor fan.
Huge. Yeah, they just had the season 46 finale this past Wednesday.
Were you sad that it ended?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Have you applied to get on?
Once.
Mm.
Didn't hear back.
You don't want to keep applying?
I might. I don't know. It's hard because like they have like one spot for like every specific kind of person.
Sure.
And like I'm not like doing anything that's like that outwardly unique. Like I'm not like a politician or I don't know. I mean, I guess I do unique stuff.
I'd
but
say that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't
You
know.
definitely do.
Maybe I'll apply again.
Yeah. Hmm. Do you think that like the YouTube side of what you've built and the audience has almost like I think there's an element of it being free, like having freedom
Yeah.
to do it and like do what you want, but also
Not
almost like a prison in a
Yeah.
sense. Do you
Yeah.
feel that?
You definitely can't do whatever you want. That's one thing I've learned from YouTube. Um, anytime like I've done something that was like 100% only for me and like wanted to try something, like the video doesn't do well. And like YouTube rewards like my solo filmmaking kid 2024, you know, and like people want to see the gear and that's what I feel like gets rewarded. Like more subscribers, more views, better brand deals, those kind of videos. And like you put out trailer number 2 for like this thing that you poured your life into and you can't wait to share and it like gets like no views comparatively. Like
Yeah.
I say no views, like 15,000 people watch something. It's like, holy shit. Like that's a lot of people.
Sure.
But like when you're comparing it to like
Your filmmaking kid that gets 400,000.
Yeah, 400,000
Yeah.
views. It feels like 15,000 views is nothing,
Right.
which is it's not nothing, but still, it's like
There is like a level. It is disheartening in a way.
yeah, it's like a slap on the
why
wrist for
yeah.
like trying to like do what you actually want to do.
Do you feel like it's you? I mean, you just start to lose like your authenticity a little bit of just
For
like who
sure.
you are.
Yeah. And like I've been doing YouTube for since
Yeah,
like
way too long.
2017. Like I didn't start myself. I got better at being myself. I like fluctuate from time to time. Like I'll mess up and like do something that's like totally off brand or out of character. And like I'll try and like realign and like I've just been through so many different like waves and different seasons and like hating YouTube and loving YouTube, trying different things, things that don't work, trying things that do work. And I just like, I don't know. Yeah. YouTube's complicated. I mean, you've been doing it for what, like 3 years now?
I think so. I feel like I started in the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
And it took
Was it
me,
that early?
I think during COVID I started. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took me like a whole year to hit like 1,000 subscribers. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But even today,
It's better that way sometimes.
I think it helped me build like a strong
Yeah.
community of people.
Yeah.
Rather than just like blowing up immediately for like
Yeah.
one particular video and no one cares about anything else.
Right. Yeah. That and you also like when you're first starting out and talking to a camera, like you suck. Like
Oh my
everyone
God, I
sucks.
can't watch.
I suck balls. Like you suck balls.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
you
I
don't
still
want
suck.
you don't want people watching that. So it's like good to get those practice reps in. It's like almost like me and Carson were talking about golf earlier. Like it's like the first time you're learning how to golf, like you don't go to the range at like peak hours. Like you're waiting until like
Everyone's
off hours
gone.
that no one's there. Like if it's raining, I'm like, oh nice, no one's at the range. I'm gonna go hit some balls because you suck. And like once you get better, you're more confident. You're like, all right, I'm ready to play on the course with my friends who hopefully won't make fun of me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think I'm at like a stage of YouTube right now where I almost don't even care at all about like the monetary thing and like brand deals. And
Yeah.
I feel like for a while I was trying to focus a lot on it and trying to make it like a full-time thing.
Yeah.
But every time I kept doing like a 30-second ad, I'm like, I fucking hate my life. Like this, I hate
But
this.
you also your DP career is like very
It's
much on the
prominent.
forefront.
Yeah, it's in the forefront.
So you're not relying on YouTube for
Right.
income anymore,
And
or never really were.
I never
right?
really was, but it was always something that was like a nice bonus,
Yeah.
a nice like addition, especially when you get like a brand deal a month or whatever, that money is. It's nice.
Yeah.
But I always felt like I was losing like a part of myself from it. And I think lately I've been trying to make videos that are more almost like therapeutic for me, where it's just like I sit in front of the camera and just like talk about things that I'm going through and dealing with and shit. And not that it's the best for advertising and stuff, but it makes me feel good, honestly. And
right.
I don't know if that's actually like a good thing because I haven't grown really.
Right.
I think I've been stuck at this number for quite a while now.
And you're at where are you at now?
Almost at 48.
So it's like a good number.
Yeah.
Like the more you get, it's like it's also too like subscriber numbers like doesn't matter. Like I have over 300,000 subscribers at this point, but it's like there's people who subscribed like a long time ago that don't watch my videos anymore. Like people will come, go, they'll learn something, they'll like stop filmmaking, they'll like, all right, like I got into this like thinking I wanted to be like an overall filmmaker, but now I'm just focusing on being a grip and they don't watch my channel anymore for whatever reason it is. So it's just like there's this like small group of people that like really are into what you're doing and those people will watch whatever you put out, and like those kind of therapeutic videos are also therapeutic for them. So it's like finding that core
I think
that'll stick with you for forever.
That niche of people that like just stick with you forever.
Yeah, definitely. And even the core will outgrow sometimes. Like I've even met like a lot of the core people who supported my channel from the beginning. Like I saw them at like screenings, or like they'll like DM me or like be like, I haven't watched your channel in a while, but wanted to let you know that like
crushing it, dude.
Yeah, I'm crushing it. I'm like, oh, that's sick. Like Cameron Marigold is like a good example of like someone he's the colorist for I Think I'm Sick, and like colors like every cool music video and like ads now. He's like such a sick colorist. And he started out watching my channel just because he wanted to like do like overall filmmaking type stuff. And he decided he was going to like niche down the coloring, and he like completely outgrew like anything I was teaching about coloring. No, he like definitely doesn't watch my channel or anymore, but like I don't know, it's like a cool example of seeing people like start really inspired by the channel and then they outgrow it and move on. So
Right.
and there's I don't know. I don't know what else I was gonna say.
Yeah. Do you get nervous about the future of it?
Of
Like,
YouTube?
Of your channel?
No.
No.
If it ended tomorrow, I'd be fine.
Mm.
Yeah. There's like no pressure. Like it already exceeded anything I thought it would become at the beginning. Granted, it's like 90% of my income at this point. And if that did go away, I'd have to start taking freelance gigs and stuff like that. I'd honestly probably like DP again.
Yeah.
If I was getting back in like commercial and like that kind of world, just because I don't like directing like commercial work and stuff like that, just because it's fun directing and like writing and putting your ideas out there when it's like your own project and you don't have to like take client feedback and like you can make it whatever you want with no limits other than like financial and like whatever those kind of resources would be. But DPing, like you can show up, make it look cool, like hang out and set.
I think it's the best job in the world.
Yeah, and then when the shoot's over, like
I just go home.
Yeah, I'll see you later. Yeah, I hope it works out for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you can move on to the next job, and like I think it's like more lucrative and less stressful. That's why I did it before.
Do you ever have the ambition to start your own production company?
Technically,
I know you do, kind of.
Yeah. So Red Dog, my production company is called Red Dog after my girl. And it's kind of just like I'm making all these projects over the years, and mostly just for YouTube, but they're like good projects that like work well as like commercial or branded content or whatever. So it's kind of like if YouTube does end, like I have a production company with all this like great work and all these great connections already. So there's like a good fallback plan if anything happens. And like I like keep in touch with all like my production company connections and like the YouTube channel I'd feel fine. And if nobody wanted me anymore, I could either start my landscaping business.
Have you ever done landscaping?
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at this place called Rhodes Garden, Shout Rhodes.
Shout Rhodes.
It's in North Wales. It's like my college job. I was like sodding and like planting trees.
That's what I was doing right before I met you.
Really?
I was a full-time landscaper.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I just love being
enjoy
outside.
doing it from my own property, my house.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it 6 days a week.
Really? I just like thinking like I love how it looks like when it's like cleaned up and I don't know. We were always working on like the nicest houses too. It was always like the richest people.
They have the nicest lawns.
Give like the sickest tips.
Yeah. Tips. I never got a tip.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe I was a schmoozer.
Yeah, maybe.
Sansa just did the really cute thing where she like curls up when she stretches. Caught my eye. But yeah, like I'd work on like it's like old rich white lady's house like all day and like this young strapping sweaty boy. Like, do you want some water? And like bring me a tip.
Nice. Would you pour it all over yourself too?
Yeah, just drenching myself.
Jeez.
I had a lot of really good summer jobs growing up. I worked on a lake, Peace Valley Park. Have you ever been there?
No.
You guys ever been to Peace Valley Park? Really? You haven't? That surprises me.
Peace Valley
Lake
Park.
Galena? Well, I did boat rental, like kayak boat rentals and stuff.
Okay.
But I was also like the lifeguard for the lake. So if like a family went out in a canoe and flipped the canoe and they couldn't flip it back because it's hard to flip a canoe. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation. There's like a very specific way to get it over, and you like run them through the instructions on how to do it, but they don't listen. Or a lot of them don't have like can't swim and like can't flip it over. It's like once a week I'd be like out in the speedboat diving off the front of the boat and like rescuing people. It was like the coolest job. Got paid like $8 an hour, but
it's all right.
Yeah, got like super tan. That was a year and a half.
Yeah.
Summer.
What did I do? I worked for Angelica's dad for a while at his pizzeria.
Yeah.
Delivery driver. Yeah, he yelled at me all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, get involved.
You're gonna meet him on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait to see just be a fly in the wall and like witness Carlo's whole family.
It's gonna be insane.
I might just take care of your dog for you the whole time.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
We're having him walk down the aisle with one of my best friends.
Yeah.
We got him a
Nice.
tuxedo.
Nice.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
I love him. But he's not staying for the reception.
Yeah. Just not a party animal.
He's too much of a party animal.
Get it?
Yeah. Questionable joke. So questionable.
Sansa, like during the reception, we had like a really like relaxed wedding. Like we brought in this like food truck to like for like dinner and stuff. It was really good. But like Sansa was just behind the counter, just begging for food the entire night. Just like entire night, just sitting back with the workers, staring up at them. It was good.
I want to read a quote to you.
God.
Yeah. If you compromise what you're trying to do a little bit, you'll end up compromising a little bit more the next day or the next week. And when you lift your head, you're suddenly really far away from where you're trying to go. Spike Jonze said that. I think you've said to me a lot that one of the hardest things on this film that you made was sticking to your gut and not listening to other people.
Yeah, big time. I mean, just insecurities. For some reason, like I like know what I'm doing. Like I know like how to make something look good, and like I knew what I wanted. But for some reason, when I like put this pressure of it being like a traditional movie and like had like more of a traditional set, like I like there was like a couple months where I just folded. Like I don't know what happened. I just like didn't trust myself, and I just assumed everyone else knew more than me. And like when someone gave feedback, I was like, "You're probably right," and I just like wouldn't even question it. And it really wasn't until like halfway through the first week of actual production where I was like, I like had to like look myself in the mirror. I sound like a football coach right now, but like I did. I was like staring at myself in the mirror. I was like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, stop being a chump. Like this movie, like this will like kill your career or like make your career great." And like it doesn't have that effect on anyone else. Like if this movie sucks, like it doesn't matter for anyone else involved. Like they can move on, like their name's not glued to it. But if it's great for everyone. But like for me, if it like sucked, it's like I'm forever the guy that made like the shittiest movie of all time. So I like just like went back to like what got me to the point where I could actually make this movie. Made a lot of changes, like you showed up, which is like a huge reason why this movie succeeded in the first place. Just like surrounded myself with like what got us here to the first place.
Why didn't you opt to just do this in like the simplest form like you normally do all the other things?
It was just because like I thought
you needed it to be that.
I thought movies were like this mythical creature. Like all it is just a long video. Like it's like not as hard as like you make it out to be in your head, but I just like had this perception that like it was this like colossal feat and I needed all this stuff and like I need to listen to these people. Like I mean, there's a lot of great ideas and stuff that came, but like a lot of it wasn't, and a lot of it was stuff that like I don't respond well to, and I should have just like honed in on what I was good at and focused. And the next movie will obviously be more like that and be like a team of dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some dogs on set. Just like a smaller crew that's nimble. Like the hardest thing for itis for me is like beautiful sunset is just disappearing because we can't move fast enough to get the shots. Or like this is like a train goes by and like, oh, that would have been such a nice B-roll shot, but we couldn't get it because we're not set up, or I don't know, whatever it is. Like I love insert shots, and like we have like very few insert shots that we were able to get like on specific locations. Like obviously I redid some stuff on my own, like the tight of the video camera when Will's recording his tape and all that stuff. But I don't know, just like you lose like spontaneity, you use like nimbleness. And like I feel like equipment and like the stuff that we know and like how to use the stuff that we have available to us is like what made people even want to like watch our YouTube channels or like care about what we were doing. Like we made stuff look awesome, made really good videos doing like not that much to make it that way. So
do you have any things that you're really proud of
from the
this movie?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's done.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Like,
it's
just like,
it's a good
I'm curious,
movie.
just like
Yeah.
moments. Like, do you remember any moments that like just make you feel like really happy that like we did this?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot.
One in particular for me always, and you texted me about this the other day, was Pat dominating himself in the Artemis frames.
That's the clip from the behind the scenes series that makes me laugh the most. Like me and you looking at the clips of Pat. Just there's a scene in the movie where Will and Robin. It's kind of like we call it the sex scene, but it's not an actual sex scene. Like it's a kind of like more of a comedic moment. And we wanted to get Connor's frame. Connor plays Will, his frame on the bedding. So we made Pat lay down on the bed, and we got the shot of him just like looking like he's being dominated. And then we got the reverse shot of what it would look like with Robin on top, and it's also Pat. So it's just like these two shots where it looks like Pat is just dominating himself, and it just like looks so funny. Like like a funny like side note of like when you're shooting narrative is there's a reason you have the actors there. It's like they look so good on camera, and then when you put any of us in the frame, it looks so ridiculous. Like there's such a reason we are not actors. It's unbelievable, and like Pat being in the frame is just so funny.
It. I think I have like 50 Artemis like of you also that are just so
I love
bad.
the one where. Are you gonna put these up on like the?
I might. There's one of you
The
just
one of
like
me-
squatting.
Yeah, driving. I was trying to get like the position of the car in the street, and there's no car, so I'm just squatting, holding a squat, driving.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I'm wearing this shirt too.
The Pacific.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know,
helicopter
maybe.
shirt. Yeah, but I would say like the scene that I'm most proud of is the shower initiation scene.
I love that one.
Kind of just what I used for like all the promotional
That was the
material and
first.
stuff.
That was. I think it was like. It had to have been like a week after we wrapped.
Yeah.
That was the first thing you worked on. Was that scene? Was it not? Like you sent it to me like a
I
week
sent
after
that
or
scene,
something.
and it never changed.
Yeah.
Well, it never. So I wrote it the first time. It never changed from the first time I wrote it because I just felt like it was perfect. And we shot it. I was like, when we shot it, I was like, this is the first time we shot something where it played out exactly how I thought it was going to look and feel when we were actually shooting something, which I can't say for most scenes. I mean, some for sure. The best scenes in the film turned out how, like that and the Robin end scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if like people who are listening to this have watched the film or not, but I won't throw spoilers out.
Yeah.
And then editing it, I did it once and it was perfect. I was like, I'm not touching this again. And it's just like it's such a weird scene, but there's so much like profound like this is the first time Will, who's been struggling his whole life, has found a sense of community. It's the first time you see like joy appear on his face, and it's during like the weirdest, like silliest scene that I think it's like one of the most unique scenes like in a movie that I've seen. Like I've never seen this type of thing.
I remember the feeling I had while filming it because in the film, I mean, you see it in like the trailer and stuff. It's in slow motion, but in real life, they were screaming and like it was loud.
Yeah.
It was such a amazing feeling just being there and hearing that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a different thing when it's like in slow motion with the music.
Yeah.
But like hearing them scream, it was wild.
Yeah. It's you just like getting like this like 10 group of dudes just like painted random nicknames on their chest to just like pretty much naked. I mean, they obviously like from the waist down had like garments on that we weren't showing. Like sprint up to Will and give him like a huge hug. It's just like I don't know. It's also funny like write something crazy and like see it have to happen in real life. Like that was like some of the most fun moments.
It's like
writing a movie.
It's a beautiful like poster image too.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's
fun.
amazing.
Yeah, it's cool too because it's like the silhouette of the back of his head, and it's like all about like what's between your ears. The movie, like mental health, like, and it's funny because like I think I'm 6, and this like red, the font's called Gevirtz, and it looks like it's like a horror film, but it's just like an inside joke of like the red paint of their like stupid nicknames on their chest. So I thought it was a nice touch of like being funny, but also like showing that like mental health is really scary, which is like the film. It's
Of
like
course.
a dark comedy.
Mm. I've told you this multiple times, but probably just say it one more time publicly. It's just like how grateful I am to like be a part of it. Like even I know that I came in a couple days, whatever after. But I think the fact that you called me that night and the next day I was just there, like really meant a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean,
and
in a moment where I was like so lost, I was like, who can I call right now to like bring in and like I know will make an impact and make a difference, at least for me. Like if it's not even the movie, like I know like it'll make me feel better having this person with me on set. And I called you right away. I was like, hey, like can you come in, and I don't know like what I need help with. Like I'm gonna try and DP this, and like can you just help me with whatever I need help with?
because there was
Like
no camera team, nothing.
yeah, no camera
Yeah.
team. So it was like the day in the field. It was like super hot. Like I was DPing, and like you were like doing a great job, just like helping me with whatever I needed. Like whenever like I like couldn't even think about the camera. I was like, yo, just like go set it up, and like that led into the next day in the classroom stuff. And like you were doing such a great job leading like the grip team that we had, and like everything was moving efficiently and on time, and like there was a shorthand of like you just knew what I wanted. Like I didn't have to like over explain myself, and like I didn't have to worry. Like I could tell you what I wanted and go off and like talk to the million people that I needed to talk to. Like and I remember looking at you during the
Yeah.
classroom scene and being like, yo, like, do you want to just like be the DP?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. I was like, sick, let's do it.
If you
And that was it.
if you understood what like I felt in that moment, because I wasn't ready to shoot a feature at that moment. Like I wasn't prepared.
Here was I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know I was shooting a feature 2 days prior, and then now I'm just.
So it's kind of better. You don't have to overthink.
It was such a crazy experience because
You haven't even read the
I
script.
didn't even read the script. I knew nothing about the film, but I don't know. It was it's definitely one of the best experiences I've had
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Really.
And it got so much easier and so much more fulfilling. Like once I made that decision, like what I thought like going into making this movie was gonna feel like and be like it actually started to happen once like I was like, all right, Carlo's the DP, and like you read the script, like almost like every morning. It was
Yeah.
kind of like me catching you up on
Yeah.
like, all right, this is like what the scene is, and like me and you would go through and walk through every single scene before we talked to anybody else. Like we'd get there before everybody else would get there, before all the craziness would happen. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just like how it should have been from the beginning. And like my biggest regret is not making sure that that's what it was from the beginning. But I didn't know. Like I hadn't worked with you in so long.
I understand why it wasn't.
Yeah, I just come back
Totally.
from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like I knew you were doing great work, but like never even crossed my mind for some reason.
But I've reconciled the fact that who I was to you was this like kid,
Yeah.
this intern for you for
Right.
so long.
Yeah.
And I knew that that was the picture that you had of me still
Yeah.
in this moment, even though that on the outside I was growing and doing cool things
Yeah.
and whatever. I knew that this was like a moment in time that I had to like reintroduce myself to you.
Right. Right.
And once I got that call, I was like, this is that moment.
Yeah.
Right now I have to do that.
Yeah, and I also do a bad job of like when I get focused on like what I'm doing, like not watching like anything that's going on. Like I'm not like even if I'm on Instagram, I'll like see someone post, I'll like it, I'm, like not even looking at like what they're doing. It's like I didn't even like I knew you were doing great work, but like I wasn't really like that invested or like anything. I was just like I need to make this movie, and like that's all I was thinking about. So yeah, it was cool to see you like get on set and like it was like night and day from the last time I saw you working.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it had been like what 2 years? Yeah,
For sure.
which is like big, like in terms of like what were you 23 the last time I saw you?
Before the film?
Yeah, the last time I saw you was
No, I was 21.
what was
I shot the film when I was 23.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what were we working on the last time I saw you? Was it the La Colombe thing?
No.
The
Yeah.
was it the no? Weren't you peeing on the on shoot?
Yeah, but that was no, the last thing we did, the
Was
very last thing was
Africa.
Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said goodbye at the airport, and I did not see you for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's wild.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, but
Shout
yeah,
out
to
to
wrap
Anno
up that
Decky.
thing, just it also changed my life moving forward on
Yeah.
like a career side. The what not that what I've got out of it, but kind of
Yeah.
was really amazing, and what people saw also really did change my life as well.
Yeah.
Like what I was able to shoot for this film and for you,
Yeah.
it got me. I think it put me to a new place.
Yeah.
In terms of my career.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Dude, thank you. Yeah. I mean, the movie would have worked out without you.
I think I'm excited to come to LA on Thursday. I'm not excited to go to LA, but
Dude, me
I
neither.
literally don't want to go at all. But
Me neither. We were in and out. Like we're flying in the
I'm
night.
flying in that
Day
morning
now.
and flying out that night. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the first LA screening that we had, the private screening, the vibes were immaculate.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Carson, you were there. Like, come on. Say just scream it so the mics can hear. Say the vibes were
You can come
immaculate
in.
for us.
Come in. Say come in.
Yeah, here, you can come in my angle. Yeah. Talk about your experience at the LA screening.
Yeah. They were absolutely legit.
Yeah.
It was a vibe for sure.
Yeah, like
Oh, Sansa's up. She's got to say something.
That was also the time we had like the stars coming out too to watch a film, like Lawrence Sher, the director of photography of Joker, Hangover, I Love You Man, like all these incredible movies. They just did Joker too as well, right? And he just got off like Black Adam, like all these massive things. But he like made the time to come to watch our film, and he didn't just like come to watch. He like got there early.
Yeah, he was
like,
engaged.
Yeah, like hanging out with us. Like the whole time I'm like looking over my shoulder, watching his reactions and stuff. And like he loved the movie. He was like asking questions during Q&A. He stuck around afterwards to chat with us. And like his words about the movie, like I have them on video. And like him talking about like how invested he was and like how much he loved the writing and like how much he can't wait for more people to see the movie. And like it didn't feel like he was just like blowing smoke, right? Like it felt like he like really loved it.
Yeah.
Having Lawrence Sher, like this guy who's like been a part of movies, like works with Todd Phillip,
Right.
And like
Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah, and he thought the movie was like one of the best movies he's seen all year. And I was like, whoa, like nothing else matters. Like if people love it, great. If people hate it, I don't care. Like this guy loves it.
Right.
And so that was cool. My cousin who was on this podcast, he's like my inspiration for like wanting to get into this in the first place, like growing up and having someone that cool and talented, like to look up to and like seeing what he's doing and making a living, like a really good living doing it, living out in LA.
Yeah.
That was really inspiring for me. Just like when I was in a place of like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. So being able to like share the movie with him was really special. And just like, I don't know, the crowd was great. Like everyone was laughing at the jokes.
You have a favorite
like,
screening?
it's probably that one.
Yeah.
Also too, because the sound system in that theater was just unreal. And it was like first time I got to experience it like really sounding like that.
The Jersey Shore Film Festival I went to while you were in Manchester.
The Garden State.
Garden State. Yeah. I was so nervous going into it because there was a documentary playing right before, and we're all sitting like everyone's in the theater already.
I hate when festivals do that.
It was like a really
They just like make people watch
it
like
was
something
like a
random.
5-minute documentary. It wasn't the best in the world, but it was cropped.
Oh,
Like their heads were cut off.
Yeah.
Like the aspect ratio was way off. So in my head, I'm like, there's no way we're about to watch this movie right now, and the aspect ratio and everything is off.
Yeah.
So I started like sweating, getting nervous. I was about to run up to the people, but as soon as it started playing, it was perfect.
Okay.
But then I was like, oh, so then they just suck at shooting the documentary.
And it also might have been like they sent in like a poor like
quality version or something.
Yeah, they might have like gotten their DCP process poorly. Like just there's a limited things that you learn you have to do when you make a movie. Like, do you know what DCPs are?
I'm familiar with it, but I don't know the extent of what.
Yeah, like
what
when
it
you make a
takes.
movie, in order to get it projected a traditional theater. Like you have to get it formatted in DCP format. Costs like $1,000. It's just like, who would have known? You know, it's like when you're already like exhausted your money and finances, and you realize you have to spend another $1,000.
Stupid thing.
And then when you like have to re-edit music and like get
Is
it
it 1,000
remixed
every time?
yeah,
No way.
I had to get a new one for this LA screening. So
No.
it's just like it's like a never-ending list of like random little expenses that just add up. It's crazy. Like 3.5 years later, I'm like still paying for this thing, like every now and then.
Is the release what you hoped it would be?
Well, it's not released yet.
What is the potential? Like, is this?
Not released yet.
Yeah. Is what am I trying to say? Is the way that you're releasing it what you hoped?
Like self-distribution. I think it's more than what we hoped. Like I've said this before, like I just think like the movie for me was just supposed to be a proof of concept going into it. Like just seeing if I was capable of doing something of this scale, like no expectations. It definitely outgrew like how big of a thing that I thought it was going to turn into.
Just see Carson swinging some.
I know,
dude. I
dude.
see him in the corner.
Dude, yeah.
Just practicing his swings.
Dude,
Sorry,
dude, keep the weight on the front foot, brother. You know?
Sorry, continue. I don't even remember.
Just like the expectations of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I did, like it already like became bigger than like what I thought it was gonna be, and B probably what I wanted it to be. And then like I never thought about film festivals or anything beforehand, and like there's all this talk about film festivals and like Cannes is coming up. We need to finish the film to get it out in time for Cannes, and like that was never like a pressure for me when I thought I was gonna make this, and like all of a sudden I was like, maybe I do have to like try and submit this to Cannes. Like the movie's like turned out being good, like it doesn't suck, so it's like all right, maybe we should try to enter in the Cannes. Obviously, they didn't get in the Cannes. We did get a nice email from the people at Fortnite, which is for like first and second time directors, and they said it made it past a couple rounds. So like that was like cool.
Right.
It's like, oh, sick. Like didn't totally waste my money submitting,
Which is also insanely expensive.
Yeah. Film festivals are because you applied to like 40 film
Yeah,
festivals.
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's like a couple $1,000s. And then when you do get, if and when you do get into film festivals, you have to like pay your own way to get there, and like hotels and like flights are expensive. Like I was trying to like help pay for other people, and Tyler's paying out of pocket for himself to fly out. You're flying out to film festivals by yourself. We stayed together in the St. Louis Film Festival in like the weirdest hotel I've ever seen in my life. It was like was it like 1700 English themes? Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I like get like really grossed out in hotels too. Yeah. You hopped right in the bed, which was so jarring to me. Oh, dude, it's like disgusting. Like there's stains on my sheets. I'm like, I can't live here. I like look over, Carlo's like a cocoon in his fucking bed. I just like couldn't believe it.
I don't know why actually, because I had like I think the previous hotel that I stayed at, I opened my sheets and there was a cockroach in my sheet.
And you stayed there?
No. I'm saying I don't know why I just jumped right in, knowing my previous experience was that.
Well, you were tired too. You were coming off a couple shoots, right?
I don't remember.
I think you were.
Probably.
But anyway, like got into film festivals. Yeah. A lot of awards, which is crazy. Like
almost all of them.
Best narrative feature. Yeah, like we won 8 total awards.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see like the actors win awards too.
Yeah, it was sweet.
It's amazing.
Yeah, especially like Tia
for
sure. Winning best female actress in her first acting experience on camera. Like she did an incredible job. Like I've talked about Tia a lot and like how we found her. Yeah. But like not a traditional actor, like couldn't find anyone that I loved for Robin. It's like a very specific role, and like actors make the film and you cannot mess up your casting choices. Like it doesn't matter what we do if the actors aren't good, like the movie sucks. Like no matter what we do, how good it looks, how good the sound is, how great the locations are. Like if there's a dud on screen, it's like, what are we doing? Right. You know? So you have to make sure like the actors are perfect because they can save bad production, which a lot of them did sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like ranting. There's so many things to talk about, but like there's so many times where we like only had like we could only shoot one angle, like we
Right.
couldn't get coverage. We could only get one take of something, and had to just make sure the actor was good enough to like get
Nail
it in
it,
that
yeah.
scene. And like most of the time they did,
Right.
which was awesome. But yeah, Tia, me and Anna ran track at Bucknell. That's where we met. I was older than Anna, and then Tia was younger than Anna and ran track at Bucknell. So Anna and Tia ran together. And Tia had reached out to me because she was interested in camera stuff. So like I knew who she was. I knew she was interested in this kind of stuff, and I knew she was like kind of interested in acting. So I was like struggling to find someone. I was like, I need someone who, like, can run really well, because I hate when you watch movies
It's just fake.
of people who like play sports and like the quarterback has like the limpest arm, and like can't throw the ball. And like I ran track, like I'm very judgmental over people's running forms. Not outwardly, but like internally. So if I was like watching a movie and like someone's
James is laughing.
someone's running like a turd, like I'm gonna like I like can't watch the movie, Like even have you seen Race, the Jesse Owens movie?
Yeah.
Like they run so silly. It's just like I get it. Like Jesse Owens had like like weird form sometimes, but like some of the actors just like couldn't run,
Yeah.
and it was just like blowing my mind because it was like this huge production, right? So like I wanted to make sure that this person was a good athlete, looked like they were like a state champion runner.
Right.
It had to be convincing. B, like someone who understood like what this character went through. Like Tia is someone who like has gone through a lot of hard stuff in her life and still does. And she's also someone who like conquers that hard stuff every day. And she relates the Robin to a T. I think the best part of why Tia works for this role is the rasp in her voice, especially like in that dramatic scene.
Yeah.
I won't get into details when she screams.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that. I've edited it. I was there when we shot it. I've seen it a million times, and like I almost cry every single time.
every
And it's
time.
like the tone in her voice, it like hits this certain like warmth and note or like something that just like triggers an emotion in you, and that's not something that
I'm like
you can just
listening to it
find.
in my head right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all I hear. It's crazy. You try editing that scene.
can't.
Just like back, just like screaming in my ear. I mean, it's in trailer too, like her screaming, so I can talk about it. It's like, Dad! And like, remember when I did it to like break the ice for her? Like, it's hard to just like scream in front of a group of people. So like, I went through the scene for her and like screamed down the hallway, and like I almost took like a really serious moment and made like a huge joke out of it because I look so dumb and sound so dumb doing it. But yeah, like when she does it, it's just like, it felt so real, even though we were all sitting there with cameras and like everything. It's just like in the moment, I was like, should we help her? Like this person looks like they're like in distress. Like we need to help her. And it's like, it's like just really good acting. So she was perfect for the role. She won Best Actress. That's what got us to that point. And then we're self-distributing. It's like, we had like so many conversations with distribution companies, and like the landscape of the film industry has changed a lot with feature length narrative projects. Like back in the like 5 years ago, like we would have gotten like someone would have paid us like what we made to make the movie to just own it and like put it on like their platform, like Hulu or something. But like things are changing so much now where like there's so much stuff being made and there's so many options that like Netflix and like these big streaming platforms aren't giving deals like that or like minimum guarantees, especially productions that don't have A-list stars. Like our movie doesn't have stars. I'm not like a well-known director at all. What was my next point?
Something about Netflix not in Hulu distribution.
There's like a lot of people making stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot where I was going. But beside the point, like there's not good deals going out. And if you do like license to like one of these companies, like you can't, it's like $50,000 and you can't put it on other platforms, or like there's like a lot of like weird deals and stuff. And then working with distribution companies, we didn't want to give a company 30% to what felt like just market to our own audience. That like we grew and like put the work in ourselves. So like it just made the most sense for us to like do it ourselves. And like it's how the YouTube channel started. It's how the movie got made. Like didn't wait around for anyone to help us make the movie. Oh, I remember where I was going with the Netflix point.
Let's do it.
A lot of times like Netflix, Apple TV, like they have their own productions now. And when you come with them with a finished product, they're almost less interested now because they didn't have a hand in it from the beginning. So they want to be in the developmental side of things. Like they want to be there like with the script and like have say and like be a part of production and like give feedback and like make it their own. Which clearly we had a finished product. And
it wasn't like you were going to sell the rights to the film or anything like that.
Nah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't enough money to like do that. If it was like, here's $1 million, I'm like, hell yeah, like take it. But it wasn't like anything near. It was like almost kind of like, I don't know, like really, you know, like felt like they just like thought of it less than us a lot of the times. So yeah, made the most sense to self-distribute and direct to consumer. Hopefully,
I think overall proof of concept, I think it showed what you're capable of.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like we've had a lot of good conversations with those companies who've transferred us to like their developmental team, and like for the next one, they like want me to bring a script to them, or like, so like when I have a finished script next time, I have like a place to go with it. Not to say that they're gonna like it or like want to go through with it, but it's like But then again, like you run into like what I was complaining about earlier of like losing control and like not just being able to like get to the core of why I like filmmaking, just being like ragtag group and like making really cool stuff with a lot of little resources that you have. So I don't know if that's even for me.
Right.
So we'll see.
What was something that you learned about yourself as a director first time doing this?
I always say that I just like, I can do it. You know, I was like, can I direct actors? Like, can I like lead a crew like of this size and like put together this like made up idea and like communicate that to like a team and like have them like make it come to life into like a cohesive project. So I learned that I can do it. I also learned that like I need to be more confrontational. Like when issues are arising, like whether it's like relationally or like a logistical issue, like I need to say something right away and not let it linger and fester.
I see.
I did that too often times and like
pushed it to the side.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of relationships that I had like got hurt during the production because I let things fester because I didn't just like speak up earlier. Which like, I don't know. It's a stressful time for everyone.
Yeah.
It was the most stressed I've ever been in my life. So I can't like fault anyone or myself. I also learned that I guess like I've said like multiple times on this podcast already, like just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Like don't let it go out of hand. Don't spend more money than you have. Like let the crew get bigger than you're comfortable with.
Right.
What'd you learn for your first feature?
I think that I learned simplicity, like what you said, was a big component to it, because I think naturally my instinct coming from the commercial space is to like try to make things look perfect and beautiful. And like, I say this all the time, like highlights in everyone's eyes always, and like perfect Rembrandt lighting, you know, like all the time. And I think this challenged me a lot to look at it in the sense of like, it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect aesthetically, but it needs to be like perfect for what the scene is. And a lot of the times it really resulted in just like less is more. Yeah. And I think that was something I took away from it that I carried onto a lot of productions where you don't necessarily, it's easy to overdo things, especially like not this project, but in some projects where you have like a good amount of time, you could spend all of that time doing that thing and lighting it. Whereas in reality, you might only need 30 minutes of it and you could save 45 minutes to give to whatever else.
For like a 1% less pretty image.
Yeah. And also just, I guess, I mean, I've done a couple narrative stuff, but just like the idea of shooting something with like an emotional intent behind it rather than this is a product.
Yeah.
Which was a whole different thing.
You gotta give actors like a space to breathe too.
For sure. And like creating an environment that's conducive, I guess, to that particular emotion of the scene.
Right.
Like, you know, when Connor's doing that thing, like his scene.
His suicide tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that might not be a spot where when we're setting up, everyone is joking, laughing, doing all that. Like maybe it's just like we have to create an environment that is good for him to do his best performance.
And we pretty much just lit the room. Yeah. And like just let him, like we all like hid in the other room, like didn't talk to Connor.
I mean,
he like
only
he walked
Christian,
straight,
the boom operator, was in there.
Yeah, he walked straight in and like was just in this room with the lighting that was set up, and it wasn't even that much.
I mean, Hi. Do you remember what we did in there?
I don't think Hi.
Oh wait, no,
Max
was at. I don't even.
Dude, Hi.
Sorry, Hi.
dude, I hadn't seen Hi since we were shooting the cross country meets, man.
Right.
Yeah, the guy was just gone. I remember just one day I was like, "Where's Hi?"
I think it was like 3 lights, maybe. I think there was something for the room, something for his face, the lamp, and then like a hair light, I think.
Yeah.
Other than that, that was about it.
Yeah. It looks great.
I love that scene.
Yeah, it's just like, it's so cool too in a theater when it's like, it's so big and it's just his face looking directly at you. Right. And it's like, it just feels like he's talking to you. And Connor's like, come on, like that guy's unreal. Like, if you just watch that scene, just like notice his like eyes quiver and like his lip twitch like, and like his nostrils flare. And that's the scene where like, burping.
That'll be good in there.
That's the scene where, the title of the film is said. Like he says, I think I'm sick. And on cue, he drops a tear on the title of the film. It's unreal. Like, it's not something that I could have ever planned for. Like, he's just that good. So, like, again, going back to, like, these streaming platforms saying that we don't have A-list talent. Like, we have A-list talent. They might not be the most well-known people, but these actors are, like, phenomenal. Like, Wes, my friend that I grew up with, actor in LA now, Wes Brooks. One of the funniest actors, like, in a movie of this year. Like, I'll say that. Like, I won't say this is the best movie of the year, because it's definitely not even close. I will say Wes Brooks is the funniest actor in a movie.
People love him in the movie.
He's
like
incredible.
A fan favorite.
Yeah. And, like, that's very much a scene or a character. Like, if the person's not funny, every joke is so cringy and like so hard to watch. So but like Wes is so magnetic in his facial reactions, and like there's like a very like simple like joke in there where they're in swim class in high school, and Spanky's there just because he wants to like see like Robin, like a girl that he has a crush on, like in a bathing suit, and like that's the only reason he took the elective. Meanwhile, like no other senior would take swimming because it sucks. We had swimming class in high school, and like nobody wanted to smell like chlorine all day or like have to wake up and like hop in a pool. So it's like such a crazy move, a senior to be taking that class. And Will's a senior, and he like tells Spanky like he's taking it because he likes to swim. And like Wes does this thing where he's like, he like laughs and realizes he's not kidding and goes, "Oh, that's fucking weird." And it's just so funny. And like the delivery, it's perfect. And I don't know. I just remember like so often on set, like we had to like redo takes because like the crew's laughing.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
The crew's laughing. Like it was like some of the most fun stuff that we shot was like the comedy stuff with Spanky and Wes. I could have picked a better person. Like it's so cool that it's someone I grew up with, and I don't know. It's like as like when I'm thinking about writing and like directing the next couple projects, I'm like constantly thinking like, how can I get like Connor involved in the
Yeah.
next one? How can I get Wes and Tia and like these actors that I just had such a fun time working with, like into the next project? Maybe it will work out, maybe it won't, but I just had such a good experience with them, and they made my first like experience directing actual actors like so easy and so enjoyable. Like I like read all these books on like how to direct actors, and it's like all these like technical things you should do, and like I was like getting myself really nervous. And like you just like become friends with the actors, and like through pre-production, and like you just learn how to talk to them, and you're just friends, and you just know how to treat each other. And like when you want something different on set, it's like, Connor, that was like kind of a weird thing you did with your eyes. Just like, don't do that. And like he doesn't care, It's like we had a friendship where like we could joke around, and like no one took like feedback like so critically, and like I don't know. It was cool.
I think something that you do really well, I noticed even on the Bose thing that we did, was like making actors feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And like this, like when you screamed prior to Tia doing it, just so she can feel it. And then in the Bose thing, when I forget her name, but when she was dancing, we all danced.
Yeah, I made everyone dance.
Yeah. I think that's amazing.
You can't ask an actor to do something you wouldn't do yourself. That's like a big rule. I don't know if that's a rule, but maybe that's not a rule. Maybe like you shouldn't expect they're actors for a reason. Maybe they should do stuff that the director wouldn't do. But like Wes had to get in his underwear for a scene, get naked. I stripped down in my underwear. It caused a lot of issues.
It did cause some issues.
but it made Wes laugh, and like he was nervous like going into that scene. Like I could tell, like I know my friend, and he was nervous, and it made him laugh, and like it just like created a lighter space. I just like I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't ever ask like someone to do something I wouldn't do. So
I think, how far are we in? Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, me too. Some body armor.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I've been drinking these and liquid IVs. Like
liquid IVs.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Sounds intense.
it's like electrolyte drink.
I was like, oh man, I just finished my Murph. Let me just fucking IV myself up, dude.
Pretty much.
Dude, did anyone else see the Carlo thirst trap the other day?
Oh,
was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. It's still up there.
Fuck, dude. It was like hot Carlo, just back and better than ever, man.
Forgot about hot Carlo.
Dude, I mean,
yeah, that was a whole.
I'll say it. Best part of the set is when all of a sudden, I will say, extremely hot every day that we were filming. Outside all day, 90-degree sun. I look over, Carlo's just ripping the top off, and I could have respected him move more than I did in that moment. I was like, God damn, I love this guy, and like. Very few people can rip their top off on a film set, and like everyone's like, that guy's awesome. And you pulled that off. Like if I did it, like people have been talking behind my back, like all this stuff, but like Carlo rips the top off, and guys are wet, guys are just soaked on set, like that's a rare quality. So kudos to you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't
I mean,
know.
It's funny, like Matty Apoya was on set that day, and he sent me his B-roll for my videos that I could use. Now I'm like, dude, why is there so much slow motion footage of naked Carlo? Just Carlo shirtless is just Matty's entire roll. I'm like, you good, dude? Like, did you get anything else?
Oh my God. Yeah, that was.
And he's like raping around the Venice, just like on his shoulder.
I was tan. Yeah, I was feeling good.
Yeah. That was.
Oh, there it is.
It's like the wind or someone wrong. She's been here long enough where she thinks this is our
Space
den.
now. Yeah.
So she feels like she needs to protect. Yo, good job. Don't do it again.
All right.
I learned that like if dogs are barking at something outside, like reward them so that they know their job is done and alerting, so that they can move on.
Are you a big treat guy? Like treats?
Or
more like pet.
when she was a puppy, but she likes validation.
Yeah.
You also with labs, you have to watch their weight, and they put on weight pretty easily. So if you like do too much training with them, they get fat pretty quick.
Walk her every day, right?
Yeah, hikes. Off leash training. She's like the best excuse ever for like when I like can't do work or like need like miss a call. I'm like, sorry, I have to walk my dog.
That's a crazy excuse, but I love it.
I use it all the time. Even when like if I don't want to do something, I'll just be like, oh, like Sansa's sick, even though she's not. She's like the greatest excuse of all time to get out of something because like people know how much she means to me because she does. Like this dog means the world to me
for sure.
It, man.
She's
my ADD is just firing off right now. I'm just hearing someone walking upstairs.
There's a lot.
Especially because too, like I'm used to like recording my own videos all the time. Whenever I hear like a landscaper outside or something, I'm like very in tune with it because I've done it so often. So like anytime I hear a squeak, I'm like, are they kidding me? Just like go up there and yell at them.
Few last questions. I guess just more like advice questions. I guess, what do you...
Advice?
Huh? Yeah.
I'm looking at a young Kyle over there. What advice would I give young Kyle?
What advice would you give young Kyle right there?
Honestly, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like
young Karsten, young James.
I met Kyle on the bow shoot, and
that's right.
Just like worked hard, came in with a really kind, positive attitude, punctual, just like it's all you need. Like
that's actually one of the
talent kind of aside. Like he obviously has talent, but like aside, like I'd hire him again. Like I'm rooting for him. Like I want him to succeed just because of like one interaction that we had on set together. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting cool tattoos. Envious of them.
That sparked a question. You kind of said it, but I was the first person that you kind of like brought under your wing.
Yeah.
And then you had some other people. Karsten was there. You've had some other people.
Karsten's the most recent graduate.
Yeah, for sure. What is like a common thread of people that you see as like young, growing filmmakers or people that you think will, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's mostly like, can we hang out? Is like number one. Like, can we like get along and like hang out for like a day? Cause like, I don't know, we like traveled a bunch together and like, you don't want to like travel with someone that like you're not having fun with. Right. Or even on shoots with, like shoots are so hard and so stressful. And like, you want to be with your friends and like people you enjoy being around because when stuff gets really hard, like you want to be around those kind of people. Or you'll go crazy and not want to do this. Just waiting for Sansa to settle. Also, like, I look at their work and I'm like at this stage of where they are, like, do they have it or do they not have it? Like, I don't know. You can just kind of tell. Like, obviously, you can get like better at this and like get to a better point. But like, I'm looking for people who like I can tell that like one day they're gonna be better than me, and like I want to like be able to like share with them whatever I know to like get them to that point. So that's definitely like a big requirement, and like then it makes me look cool too when like they end up being like way better than I am at whatever they end up doing, because it's like, oh look, Danny like helped them out, but now like they like we're already gonna be better. I just like help like maybe fast pass. I don't know, like a little quicker. Yeah, just a bit quicker. Yeah. And it's like, hard too, because like sometimes I feel like I don't do enough. Just because like I'm not shooting as much as I used to, especially with the movie. Like,
well, I remember when you brought Karsten on. I think you hit me up.
Yeah, I like hit you up.
I started
was like,
bringing Karsten on to a lot of like set stuff because you weren't doing any of that.
Right.
But I think you provided him a whole different thing. Yeah. I also gave him something else.
Definitely. Yeah. It's like a network now. Yeah. Like if I bring someone in, like I expect you guys to like take care of them. Like Vinny, the current guy. Like I've been busy with itis, like and doing not shoot related stuff, like negotiating and like
hey, Vin,
crap like that. This? Yeah, it's like so far removed from what he's trying to learn, and it's like not helpful for him at all. Even when like Karsten first came on, it was like finishing up editing the movie, and like we're like setting up screenings and like something that's like a little further down the line, you know. So yeah, just getting people involved with like you guys and like what you guys are doing. And like, I expect Carson to like help Vinny out. And like, I expected, like, I mean, Pat and Carson are like kind of, Pat like never really officially ended because he like went back to school. But I would say Pat's a graduate. We just hadn't. I would say that our Kenya trip was like his like graduation present. But I still owe Carson a graduation present, by the way. You're next on the lineup for cool experices.
True. I went to Uganda.
Yeah, you went to
That was-
Uganda.
I think that was
Pat
mine.
went to Kenya.
Yeah. Where are you going, dude?
Well, Santana.
We did the helicopter thing.
Yeah,
right?
we flew around Maui.
Bro, you're so
on a
beat.
helicopter.
You haven't done anything.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the right moment. Yeah, I expect like this like little group that we've formed to like take care of each other, and like that's kind of the internship right now for Vinny is just like you guys helping him out.
Yeah.
You know?
Vinny's great. He's been on a bunch of
Yeah, he's
stuff.
the man.
Yeah,
He's
awesome.
such a likable, like awesome dude. Like sky's the limit for what he's gonna be able to achieve. Like even the last couple of months, like he's gotten significantly better in his videos. Like he'll send me like his projects, I'll put it in frame and like just roast every frame. Like he needs it right now. Like he needs someone to tell him what he's doing wrong. And I tell him like, listen, like just listen to me. Like just trust me that like don't take this like to the heart. Like I suck so much. Like you're so much better than I was when I was 22. Like just take this feedback, try to apply one thing or two things on the next shoot and see what you can do better.
Yeah.
So like he sent me his most recent project and like every frame, like
Much better.
dude, not even much better. I'm like, do this differently. Like do this differently. Like this music sucks. Like being very blunt and honest with them. So like, like, and I tell him like, this is how I would approach it. Like you don't necessarily have to do it this way, but like you have to J cut audio here. Like you can't just like let things cut. Like you can't let like a talking head interview cut into a talking head interview of the same angle. Just like little stuff like this that like, I don't know, people start at different places and like he needs that right now. Carson, I think when he came in, he was like already like, he knew what he was doing. Like most intuitive kid like I've ever met in my life. Like I'm not just like saying that, like it's true. And I think we all know that. So it was more like, okay, he needs to like get on proper like DP sets. And that's why I was like, yo, Carlo, can you bring Carson on set more? Or like, or whatever else I did there. You know, it's just like, I also saw like Carson, like you had like some insecurities about like operating and stuff. So like I brought you on the golf thing and I was like, yo, here, you operate and like you did a great job. And like hopefully that was like confidence building for you, you know? Yeah. So just like trying to see what
moment. I love this.
Yeah, trying to see what like different people need in the moment. Like Pat's very different in that like Pat, like he's more on like the director producer side of things and like was talking about like getting involved in starting his own production company and like he's like a big overthinker and like trying to get him to stop overthinking and just do stuff because he's so smart and like so good with people and like he needs to just do stuff. So everyone's different, you know. When you first popped out, you're shooting like travel content, like the next Sam Calder over here. And it was, I think for you, it was like transitioning from like, this is how you can make money, like doing filmmaking, right? It's like, you can't make those videos. Like you have to like, I don't know, like run proper shoots. And like, I think that's where when you found that DPing was going to be like,
before I met you, I was just doing like videography. I didn't really know anything traditional film. I didn't even know what a DP was.
Yeah.
I knew nothing.
Yeah. Most people don't.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
I knew nothing.
It's such like an inflated industry and that there's like so much like extra stuff that you need to know and like all this stuff. And like you do need to know that stuff, but then you can like pull back later. But yeah, like starting out, like you don't know that like there's someone who just uses a camera.
I had
like,
no idea. Like I was just shooting little marketing videos for like pizzerias and stuff like that, and then travel stuff.
Yeah.
But then Yeah, I think you at the time you were promoting DP work, and like
Right.
that
Yeah.
was what your channel was pretty much.
Wasn't Bad Mama the first
Bad
thing that
Mama
came
was the
up?
first thing.
Yeah.
I think I DM'd you on Instagram. 2.5 minutes later, I think you responded to me.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that next day, we were at the Bad Mama thing, and then
Yeah.
the next day after that, it was a Noah video,
Yeah.
Noah guy video.
Yeah.
The
The one in the laundromat.
The laundromat.
It looks sick.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing
Yeah.
at all, but it was great.
You were hustling.
Yeah.
That's all that mattered.
But as soon as I found like what you were doing in like cinematography, and you brought me onto some Blue Ox stuff,
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, remember shooting that Kevin Durant thing?
yeah, dude.
And it's just we never allowed to share it.
Yeah, no.
Like, we got to shoot this awesome project with Kevin Durant coming off his Achilles tear. Awesome footage, and we just never
Nothing.
got to show it.
Yeah.
Remember, he wasn't having a good practice, and he like freaked out, and, like walked
I
off.
mean, I remember a little bit. I was in the back with the batteries.
True.
I wasn't allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But I got to observe and just like watch, and I think seeing what you were doing as a DP just unlocked something in my brain of like, oh, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And then it's just escalated, and I still to this day have zero desire to direct. Like I only want a DP. And I feel so strongly about that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
DPing is the way to go. Especially,
Hold on.
yeah, what are they doing? Doing fucking speed skating up there? Just like felt like the guy's just healing from place to place. Just rocking it.
I don't remember where DPing is the way to go or something like that.
It's also like it's like when you don't know about like DPing, like when someone's like, oh, the DP on steps, like what, double penetration?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, and it's like, what is a DP? And like, why would you say? It took me like 2 years of being in the film industry to not laugh when people said DPing. Speaking of funny things, like driving to Philly, they still have the boner forever sign up.
I don't know.
That's crazy. How long has that been? Yeah, decades. And it still says
What is this?
a giant, like when you're driving down Broad Street into
Sure.
the city, on the side of the building, it just says boner forever, giant.
Like graffiti?
Yeah, it's said that since I've been alive, I gotta say. It's like, how have they not gotten rid of that?
It's a
I mean, I
staple
hope
now.
they never
Yeah,
do.
a
It's
staple now,
awesome.
I guess.
I think it's really funny.
Mm.
That's just something I noticed on my drive-in.
Well, last question. We should end on boner forever, but
I mean, they got a point. Am
yeah.
I right? That's like, I mean, some advice I would give to anyone: boner forever. Maybe that should be my next tattoo.
I don't even know how you're
just a wrecked wiener,
Erect?
just boner forever down like one of these big veins of mine.
I was waiting for a couple of these to come out. Yeah. Do you have any what kind of jokes were you making on set?
These nuts.
You have any good ones, like new ones?
Yeah, I do, but now you're expecting it, so I can't get you.
That's fine.
I'll try and get you, like when you forget about it.
All right.
I was just thinking of funny nuts jokes.
This is my last question I usually ask. I guess if you were sitting across from you a couple years ago, you in Hawaii, and you just started writing the first word of itis,
Yeah.
sitting across from where you are now, what
Yeah.
advice would you give that version of you?
I'd first just punch myself in the nuts.
That's cool.
Call him a nerd, like a loser. Nah. What would I tell myself? Obviously, it's like, trust yourself more. Like, you just have fun. Like, at the end of the day, just have fun with all of this. Like, it's gonna be hard as shit, which it was hard as shit,
Yeah.
and just like try to enjoy it more.
Mm.
There's so much of it that I didn't enjoy because I was just so stressed. Like, I lost 15 pounds like during our production. I wasn't eating. Like, I couldn't I couldn't sleep. Like, it was rough. Just like trying to my advice would just like find ways to like relax and like have fun with it. And if things aren't gonna work out like at all, so just like adapt and just take whatever happens with grace.
Yeah.
So definitely that. It was hard. You saw it. I mean, it was hard for you.
It was
like
brutal.
I remember some days you're just like, at the end of the day, like you were just on the ground. Like
Yeah,
there's some days like you looked like you were defeated.
Yeah,
like I was
completely.
like, dude, you all right?
Yeah.
You know?
I think there were a few days for sure where I like broke down afterwards. I
Yeah.
was just completely done.
It's emotionally exhausting. It's like it's like you don't understand unless you're in it. Like too, like you wanted it to be good. Like I wanted it to be good. And like the content that we were shooting there's a lot of funny moments, but there's a lot of really hard stuff to handle, like on set. There's like the relationships with crew members and like that you're like balancing. Like I'm also like, I don't like in my day to day, like it's just me and Sansa.
Yeah.
Like I'm not used to being around people, and like having to be around that many people for that long was so hard. We got through it. And it's hard too, because like a lot of the people on set, it was their first time meeting me, and like they only know me and have met me in like the most stressful time of my life. And like, I don't know. I just like, if I did it, I have like this like thought in my head that people like would get like mad at me over certain things and like hate me, but they don't. Like no, they don't. But like making someone work like an hour later than I said, like in my head, they hate me forever now.
I feel that. I understand that.
Yeah. So that was weighing on me too. Like people like staying longer than what they were said. Like I also knew that people were getting like lower rates, which was stressing me out. So a lot of stuff just comes at you when you're trying to make a movie.
So on a positive note, just have more fun. Just a wrap, tie it together a little bit.
Punch your older self in the nuts and have fun, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited for people to see it though. You know.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. It's like it's also just like something that we've never posted on, like something we wouldn't share on YouTube. Like it's like very personal in a lot of ways. Like it's not, I mean, there's like a lot of fictional stuff, but it's a lot of like butts and like crude humor and like all the stuff that most people who watch my YouTube channel probably aren't used to like seeing if they don't actually know me.
Yeah.
So it's like exciting to get to share like the real me.
real you.
I mean, my YouTube channel is the real me. It's just like the real art that I want to put out there. It's not like commercial or documentary. It's like, you know, making people laugh and cry.
Well, where can people pre-order it?
The movie? Yeah. itisfilm.com.
Cool.
itisfilm.com. You can also hit up meatspin.com. You can watch it there.
Yikes.
Penisland.com. I think they're going to host it.
Yeah. Wait, Meatspin, is that like a real thing? I thought that was like a porn site.
Meatspin?
Yeah. I thought you
no.
were making like a porn
No,
joke.
you can watch Itis on there. Penisland.com. It's on there as well.
It sounds like a porn site.
Pen Island?
No, Meatspin.
Meatspin?
Yeah.
No, it's totally legit.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's like super legit place where they host movies. You go on there, you sit down, and it plays the movie right away.
That's cool.
Yeah, meatspin.com. Yeah.
Love it.
Make sure you go and check it out there.
Definitely going to edit out that whole porn bit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, man. It's exciting to see what you've created with this, what you've created with your career, and
Trying.
it's cool. It's inspiring for me. Like I get to a point often where I'm like start to get like comfortable with like what I know and like the knowledge that I know in filmmaking, and like sometimes don't want to like grow my business or whatever. And I see you doing stuff. I'm like, oh man, Carlo's killing it. Like maybe I should like invest more in something. And I don't know. what you're doing makes me want to be better. So thank you.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
Love you.
love you too. I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for tuning into another episode of the Creative Gap podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, there are a ton of other episodes for you to listen to as well. Check us out on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to get your podcast, you can find it. Also, be sure to check us out on Instagram at Creative Gap for future updates, upcoming guests, and a lot of short clips. And if you want to support the podcast in a deeper way, feel free to join our Patreon community. And for those of you who already joined the Patreon community, thank you. And for those of you who are new to the show, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy it. And for those of you who have been here for a long time, thank you. So that's all we got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you next time. Peace out.